Well, here we are at the end of this particular study, and I've had so much fun going over this material. Every time I go over this material and speak about it, I want to have one more child. As a matter of fact, as I look back over my life, I feel like I made a lot of mistakes. I matured as I went, and I kept thinking, I need to have one more child so I can do it right. Have you ever felt that way? Well, I have. But as I get to this last chapter, what I want you to understand is that motherhood is a very long-term process. And I don't think I had any idea of just how long-term it would be. And so today we're going to talk about faithful mother. It just happens that lately, as I've been writing another book, I have realized over and over again that waiting is a part of godliness in Scripture. So many people had to wait. Elizabeth and Zacharias had to wait for their son John. Hannah had to wait until she got pregnant. Joseph had to wait for 12 years after he had his dream before he became the second in command of Pharaoh. And a lot of what we're doing is waiting. The faithful mother needs to understand the seasons of life, that there will be some times that are spring and reviving and summer, and you see lots of productivity. Fall, oh my goodness, everything's changing. And then winter, which is God here? Does he care? Are my children listening to anything I say? And the faithful mom is a mom who practices tenacity, who practices, Lord, I don't know where you are, but I'm going to keep taking one step at a time. I'm going to put one foot in front of the other. And again, I think I told you I was never trained to do this. I was spoiled, I was premature, I was the only girl. And so my mom and dad loved me so much that in many ways they really just spoiled me. But when I came to adulthood, I had to learn how to clean house. I had to learn how to bear with my children, how to go without sleep. I can even remember there were points in when I had my fourth child that I thought, oh my goodness, they are going to find out that I have cancer someday, and they're going to be so sad, because I was so tired and my muscles ached so much. I thought there must be something wrong with me. And then I found out that I lived through it, and it was just exhaustion. And then I lived through hormones. You know, there's so many things you live through. But I'm here to tell you that in this arena of motherhood, I have no regrets. I wish I had done some things better. I wish I'd trusted God more. But in terms of saying it was worthwhile deciding to give my life to it, I have to tell you, now that my children are young adults, I love who they've become. I love being with them. They're my favorite people. We have the same taste in coffee and tea. We love the same literature. We love the same movies. We love the same books. We love the same experiences. Why? Because it's a blessing when you build this community. This is who the Clarksons are. This is what we do. This is what we believe. And it gives you that sense of connection and anchor to other people who care about you. I know a number of years ago, when my daughter was very little, it was the time of Anne of Green Gables. The movies came out. We read the books out loud. We had watched a series of Avonlea shows about family in Prince Edward Island. And so for several years, my children kept saying, Mommy, wouldn't it be great if we could ever speak in Prince Edward Island? And I thought, oh my goodness, that is so far away, and it's so expensive to get there. I would check the prices of the planes, and I thought, well, let's keep praying. Let's keep praying. And then, sure enough, out of the clear blue sky, somebody said, they wrote me a letter, and they said, I live in St. John's in Canada, and we have a group that would love to have you come speak. We know that our group is too small to pay you a fee, but my husband travels all of the time, and he has mileage points with which he could buy each person in your family a plane ticket to St. John's, and then we'll provide you with a van to go to Prince Edward Island and tell you where to go. Would you come speak to our group for a whole weekend if we gave you a van, free airline tickets? Well, you can imagine what my children thought after praying for this for 5 years, and I didn't ever think it would happen, for God to move in the life of someone and say, here you go. You can have your family vacation this year in the place of your dreams. And so as I was sitting on the beach there in Prince Edward Island near Charlottetown, and my children were running along the shore. They were collecting rocks and they were collecting shells, and Clay was splashing in the water with the kids, and Sarah was walking along in her teenage reverie. I realized that this was a picture of a lot of my life. A lot of what moms have to do is wait. They have to learn the grace of believing that God is working. They have to believe that God will reward them in due time. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, but the convictions of things that you really can't even see right now. But we also know that without faith, it's impossible to please God. So what do we have to have a big dose of when we come into this whole arena of being a faithful mom? We have to have old-fashioned tenacity. We have to learn what it means to persevere,